Hey guys, this is Mark Havens, and I'm here with Ben Hoggatt. Is it Hoggatt? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, sir.
And he's a DMS member, and he decided to, come on and talk about a few things that are important to him. And Ben, could you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Ben Hoggatt. I'm a maker. I make sculptures and projection art, lots of software around Makerspace. Um, I think me and you, Mark, have bumped into each other a couple times, but
Hmm.
this is our first time officially getting to meet each other.
Yeah, I don't think we've had an actual conversation, at least over. I might have messaged you a couple of times, but other than that.
Yep.
Um, and we've shared some PPE related stuff on Facebook, I think.
Yep. That's
And
right.
so
Yeah, I've been working with ACME Labs since Makerspace closed their doors because of COVID.
yeah,
We've been making face shields and respirators out there.
yeah, yeah. So you have anything you want to talk about? Like this is we're really kind of talking about Dallas Makerspace, but anything related to making or uh, organization. I mean, really, I'm kind of open to suggestions as far as what we can talk about. What do you think's interesting?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm all about what's accessible around Makerspace, what we as a community get to use.
Hmm.
I put a lot of my own effort personally into keeping things working and making sure that everybody's got what they need whenever I'm over there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think we have a really amazing thing there. I think it's like nothing else that I've ever seen or even heard of in the world. There's a lot of other things like it, but Makerspace is something really special.
Yeah.
Hard to put your finger on.
Well, I know I'm a big fan of the community, of course,
Hmm.
and I like cultivating that because that's where our ideas come from, right? People and each other and interacting with one another kind of can bouncing ideas off of one another. In fact, one of the reasons why I chose this particular format for my YouTube channel is so that I can bounce ideas off people and give them a voice. And actually, this video is called "You Have a Voice."
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so 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 the idea is to make sure that everybody is heard. And
Hmm.
now this is outside of any type of official anything Dallas Makerspace related. But I am using it for my campaign, and because I'm running for board of directors this year.
I heard that, and from what I've heard about you, I think I'd be a supporter of you till I heard anything to contrary.
Well, there's plenty of contrary to hear, so
Oh,
you just
well.
because we have a bit of a contentious campaign with some of the incumbents right now. Um,
Yeah, I've heard spillover leaking into Acme while I've been working over there. Is There's been some drama and a lot of finger finger pointing that doesn't necessarily condone the spirit, I think, of what we're trying to accomplish.
well, I'd agree with you there. It seems more like a really dirty political campaign out in like a Democrat versus Republican type of style thing, and less like a cheerful community workshop type of campaign. But
Yeah, if you ask me, man, the world is a big. I mean, you can't turn on the TV right now without hearing somebody slur campaign, and Makerspace is
I,
supposed to be your escape. If it is for a lot of people, anyway.
well, at least during I don't know about all the time. Well, I mean that's what ideally, yes. I guess over the last few years, though, it's been increasingly contentious during the campaign season of Dallas Makerspace's board of directors. This is the most difficult. I would say, but difficult's probably the wrong word to use. Um, Contentious isn't even the right word to use. So we've had patterns of example in how to participate in campaigns in the past, and
Hmm.
it's been friendly. Now, at least in person, and it get heated on talk. There's plenty of
I know.
there's
I stay
plenty.
off talk myself. It's talk is supposed to be such a positive thing. Who'd have thought
Well,
having a bunch of people being able to communicate about what they're making turned into what it is. I don't go on there anymore.
yeah, well, I mean, the reason I don't go on talk is the same reason I don't really participate in world news or anything, or at least national news or even politics, especially, because it's I don't know, I get overloaded with that kind of stuff. I got plenty of other things to worry about. Um, but I don't know, I'm finding it a little easier. I thought I'd have a hard time with this campaign, but because I've got an understanding of who's involved and what's going on and how things are done, even with some of the. Uh, I've already been banned, or not banned, but well, I have been banned, but a few few years ago. But I've been threatened a couple of times uh,
Hmm.
with being banned by incumbents, which
Yeah.
is kind of an unfortunate um, weirdness.
Yeah.
Because my intuition, I don't even have to like do research or like when I come into an environment, if I'm relatively new to the organization, and I can't say everybody's everybody's welcome to run for the board of directors after 3 months in
Hmm.
as a member. Except for some people that have been around for a lot longer than that, because of usually grudges and stuff like that. And it does get
Yeah.
really, really contentious. I know in in uh, in the incumbent's case, they're supporting a group of well, not everybody running on their side is is incumbents.
Hmm.
They've actually got some people there that aren't incumbents that seem to have a very similar approach to our leadership strategy as as our as our campaign. Um,
Hmm.
and on at first glance, even at second, third glance, honestly, I was writing their names down during the meet the candidates, thinking that um, these guys are uh, like they should be on our ticket, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You
let's see,
know, I'm
but
trying to. I mean, as much as I can
hmm
around there, I try to skid off the politics, like like bounce off of it, because
yeah, I
yeah,
don't.
I know. It's
I try not to pay attention. I go I go years sometimes without really paying attention to what's going on too much in detail. Um,
yeah.
I'll listen. I'll hear stuff,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, yeah, and
I'm
I've been the ear for a couple people that when
mm,
there's things going on, and you talk about um this place that they really care about, then I'll be there for them. But I personally, I think at some point I'm probably going to run myself, but
yeah.
uh, it's I don't know. I keep my focus as best I can, especially when I'm at Makerspace and there's so many amazing things that distract me.
Well, it's definitely an interesting experience. I will say though that in one case uh, we had we We I'm sorry. I am running on so little sleep right now that I'm having trouble keeping my thoughts organized.
You know, I'm myself. I'm a little bit distracted right now. My roof just caved in where I'm living.
Your roof just caved in. You need to
Yeah,
get
I'm
off the
looking at
phone
the.
and take care of that.
No, I'm okay. I think I've contained it. I'm just looking at the gaping hole in the ceiling right now.
Yeah,
Um, but
it's
yeah, that's the thing to fix. It's the thing to make tomorrow is a new roof for myself.
uh,
um, you know, I'm working on an art project for
yeah.
Makerspace, like a community spirit project.
Mm,
I've already cleared it with the board, but I think at least some of the people that okayed it have aren't as involved now.
yeah.
But it is it's a big Makerspace logo
Hmm.
that's sectioned out into a bunch of little chunks,
Yeah.
and I'm letting whoever wants to participate, like the heads of different departments,
Hmm.
take those chunks back to their section. You know, take it over to metalwork, take it over to woodwork, and replace the piece that I gave you with something that has the same dimensions, but it's made out of whatever material you want, you know,
Hmm.
make it look as good as you can. And then
Hmm.
we're going to put all the pieces back together to make a big Makerspace logo. Kind of a
That's
working
cool.
together instead of, you know, any kind of, I don't know. I think it says, it sends the right message to anybody walking in the door. Like make any shape, any size, come up with something, do it with people around you if you want to.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
You said you were working with Acme with the PPE stuff, right?
Yes, sir. I was there,
As a
probably.
as a volunteer, though, right? Or some other
I
capacity.
would say definitely as a volunteer, but
Yeah.
more than I mean, I essentially lived over there.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I stopped working on those things for at least a month and a half there. I
Wow.
pretty much just kept it going as best as I could. Kept food coming in the door, and you know.
Well, I know there's been some drama between Dallas Makerspace and Acme, and I find
Just
that I find
barely, yeah. But
very well. I mean, you look on Talk, it seems like there's a lot. I don't know if it really has any impact over Acme, but it seems like Acme has been villainized somehow for making PPE.
I know, and it cracks me up because I've heard this two or three times.
Hmm.
It really does crack me up because I mean, we got no beef. We got no beef with Makerspace,
Right.
and I mean, I most of us are makers and plan on going back to Makerspace, but the doors were closed, and we saw something that needed to be done, and we just did it. I think that anything that was said cross about Acme making PPE, I mean, that's on the people saying it. That's them not doing what we're doing and feeling like they should, I think, but that's not my
Well,
place to say.
well, if it's any consolation, I put a lot of effort into promoting Acme's uh, initiative, and I guess you saw on Facebook, and
Yeah, I've seen you be active on that.
yeah, so you know, I don't. I don't think you got any negative press from me. I don't think you got any public negative press from Dallas Makerspace, but
That's good.
it did get tied in. Honestly, I think the whole thing was it's not that I think I know the whole thing was political, internal politics at Dallas Makerspace. It's all about who was working on what in order
Yeah.
to bolster their appearance for the purposes of winning the hearts and minds of Dallas Makerspace voters, voting members. And I honestly, I think it'd be a whole lot better use of time and resources to put your effort into winning the hearts and minds of Dallas makers or makers in general, people in general, throughout the
Yeah.
course of your time there, instead of just you know during a campaign season. But
Yeah, or how about jump on the bandwagon? How
yeah,
about lead a community effort, um, open the doors and see what kind of difference in the world we can make. I think I mean, the resources of Makerspace that we all, just adore and cherish and have worked our asses off to make what it is, were kind of closed off to us, which I understand. But, I think that it was an option for ACME legally to open the doors for the sake of making PPE.
Sure.
We totally could have done something to the effect of, sorry, Makerspace is closed, but we have a community effort. You can sign up to be a volunteer. We have assembly lines going. And, if any person that had stepped up to lead something like that, I mean, they would have been a shoo-in.
No.
Who could deny anybody that stepped up to the plate to make something like that happen?
And
I don't position in office.
I don't think you got any complaints from anybody that I can think of. The police department, I'm sure, loves the donations that they made, or that ACME made.
Yeah.
I don't. Other than that, I don't remember all that ACME donated. But the complaint is, or I guess the ongoing argument inside Dallas Makerspace, or at least from the incumbents, is that ACME charged money for their PPE. And now my understanding is that it was sold at cost, or it was to recoup initial expenses, or something like that. I don't know the details, but it wasn't unreasonably priced. And
well, I can tell you what I observed from being a relatively large part of that.
Yeah.
We did make a deal with a hospital distributing system, and I don't think I'm allowed to say them by name if I'm not mistaken, but we made a deal with a hospital distributor and got our stuff to all of North America at very little cost to them. I think we were able to get the cost of those things down to, almost nothing. I'm not sure exactly what the number was, but after we got that tool installed, the big clicker press that we could pump out what we were making, I think that was our main expense that we had to get covered by the hospital to do that. But I know for a fact that what was happening is we were donating to, everyone in our peripheral, everybody that we could. If anybody asked us for shields, we put shields in a box, we slapped a stick, and we sit where it needed to go. We lost a lot of money in shipping. I think we spent more money in shipping, if I'm not mistaken, than in anything else, just to get individually packaged boxes everywhere. And then, of course, that would come with like you're welcome to donate to the cause. A suggested donation, like so that we could make ends meet, would be so much. And I don't think we required anybody to pay other than the one deal that we made with the distributor.
So there was a little bit of money to cover like basic living expenses or something like that. Or
I don't think we even made up living expenses. I think if I'm not mistaken, ACME took a huge loss on that project.
They took a loss?
I believe so.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. I'm not the right person to ask about this specifically, but
well,
if I had to guess, I'd say that we lost a lot of money making those.
I don't know all the details, but I did talk to what's the owner's name of ACME?
That would be Ian.
Ian. Okay, so I think I talked to Ian, and he said that they pitched in their own money on this, and they were just hoping to get it back. And
I think they definitely pitched in to start. This could not have happened without the major contribution of at least 4 of those artists that I know pitched in right off the bat.
Because you needed material costs, and I know ACME doesn't have a whole lot in terms of resources, and it's really people pitching in their own money to save lives and hope that they don't go broke in the process.
Yeah. And with the major stimulus package that was put out that is why the massive stimulus went out to all the hospitals, was so that they could buy exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense that we would. I mean, as someone who put months of my life into this
Yeah.
at zero, I mean, literally did not ever get paid a penny for any of this.
Right.
I will stand by their actions in saying that, yeah, it was a community effort all the way around, and it was for the goal of filling the need. And if the motivation at any point was to make money, I would have caught wind of it.
Yeah.
So I can see where the hearts and minds of these people are. I was there for long enough to get to know all of them.
I was in the middle of all that. I didn't actually. I think I went to ACME once, and of course I went as prepared as I could with, I think I had an N100 mask on, and as soon as I got a shield, I put that on, and I had gloves and all that stuff because my me and my mother and well, my I've got a relatively young wife and family, but my mother is at risk, and I'm taking care. Since COVID-19 hit, I took her in to well, I mean, so so that somebody take care of her if we got sick or something like that. But somebody be able to take somebody to the hospital. She wouldn't be able to take me to the hospital, but I'd be able to take her to the hospital at the very least and take care of her. But no, we're all kind of cooped up in quarantine together, and I was invited on multiple times to go help, but I couldn't do it. It was too risky for me.
Yeah,
to do
definitely.
that.
And
but
that was the normal response, and trust me, no one judged anybody for that decision.
But what I did do, because I saw an opportunity to help and online by promoting you guys and other initiatives, and I can't remember how many hospitals I've talked to, how many PPE maker initiatives I helped, and I had a lot of people contact me like through PMs or whether privately. They contacted me privately or through email, asking for help, or in some cases, actually a lot of cases, makers who needed they had resources, they had volunteers, and in some cases they had a big old stockpile of PPE ready to give away. They just didn't know where to send it. So and then I had other people who wanted to know where they could get they were desperate, wanting to know where they can get it, and I'd connect those two together. And
yeah, that's awesome. And we had several people online doing that for us and referring us.
Yeah.
For hospital workers, even individual ones working at hospitals that had nothing to do with that distribution or anything, that were like, "Hey, I work in an operating room and we don't have this. Can you please help us?" And of course, we slap a label on a box and send it. Ask for a donation.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I run my own business at home, and so it didn't really impact me too much to losing. I lost some clients as soon as a little after the pandemic hit. I had some clients go on hold for a month to see what happens, because everybody was afraid of or not working, or they closing their doors, something like that. They just but for like the month of April, or I guess starting in the middle of March, I know I went into that mode, trying to figure out what I can do. And I started out kind of trying to figure out how I could plug myself in. And Dallas Makerspace had an initiative going, but I don't have a very good relationship with the people running that initiative internally in the organization. Nor do I have a very good rapport with the incumbents or anything,
Hmm.
for reasons that I can only speculate about, because I don't have any actual. I don't have a whole lot I've never really talked to any of these people, and I haven't been
It
really
says a lot
active.
about you that most people, like especially running for a campaign like this,
Hmm.
probably wouldn't say something to the effect of like, there are people that don't like me. And I'm going to let you know right now, as somebody who always keeps it as real as I can and is never pushing an agenda, I can appreciate that about you, even just in this conversation. Um, I can hear in your voice that
Well,
you're,
it's
this is a
it's
thing that afflicts you.
it's a problem. It's not just me, okay? It's and this is part of the platform I'm running on. There's a problem with our culture, and I mean I'm I'm on the receiving end of some of the uh, the negative effects of it. And but there are plenty of other people that are on the negative effects of it
Hmm.
too. And in one particular case, or I guess in the primary case, um, we have we have board transitions every year, as you're aware. And the last oh, we just lost him. Okay, well, I'm back, but Ben is not. I wasn't able to get him. He's out in the country, he said, and just has kind of bad reception. But I spent quite a bit of time trying to get him back. But we'll try to talk to him again, and maybe finish our discussion. But in any case, like, subscribe, and share, and hope to see you guys next time.